People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister for Grand Bahama addressing the proposed utility increase. Plus, the new police chief for the Northern Bahamas visiting our ZNS studios today. And a brand new pharmacy opening on Grand Bahama, but proprietors say it's more than just a pharmacy. We will explain. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, responding to the proposed increase by the Grand Bahama Utility Company to the Grand Bahama Port Authority to increase the water rate in May of this year. Now, that announcement not sitting well with the Minister for Grand Bahama. Aja Kwant is live in studio with the details.
Well, Ramiko, the recent announcement of the Grand Bahama Utility Company's application to the Regulatory Committee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority for a rate adjustment to be effective May 1st of this year is definitely attracting attention from the government. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, is taking the Grand Bahama Port Authority to task and raising the issue of public consultation. According to the release, Minister Moxie is urging the Grand Bahama Port Authority to approach this matter more deliberately and to demonstrate a business case that makes sense while giving timely public consultation as a responsible utility provider should. Minister Moxie went on to say that as we move forward with the future development of Grand Bahama Island, our government remains fully committed to addressing this historical and systematic challenges that have impeded growth in our nation's second city. She states that the government received notice from the Grand Bahama Port Authority on April 12th, explaining that it received an application for a rate adjustment of water services from the Grand Bahama Utility Company. The statement reads in part that the GBPA claims to recognize the government as a key stakeholder, but informs the government of the rate adjustment request the same day the notice of application was published. The minister also states that while it is understood that the utility company incurred millions of dollars in unexpected costs as a result of Hurricane Dorian, many in Grand Bahama would have suffered the loss of homes and livelihoods and have yet to fully recover financially to meet the burden of increased water rates. Minister Moxie pointing out that the water with high salinity was delivered to many homes in Grand Bahama after Dorian with no compensation from the utility company. Now, Ramiko, Minister Moxie stressed the fact that the Grand Bahama Port Authority did indicate that it would seek to ensure the most vulnerable are not adversely impacted, but she noted that they have made no case to the government or the public regarding who that includes and how that is possible. Live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Kwant. Back to you, Ramiko.
Thanks, Aja. Meantime, human rights activist Joseph Darville is tonight applauding Grand Bahama Utility Company for their quick response after Hurricane Dorian, but he laments that the water pressure is not where it should be. Darville's comments come after GBUC released a statement yesterday informing the public of an application proposal to the Grand Bahama Port Authority that is expected to affect around 60% of GBUC's customers, who will on average experience an increase of approximately $8 in their monthly bills. The company says the rate increase comes on the heels of a long road to recovery after damage to the company's well-field infrastructure in 2019.
I think we've gotten a significant break in the cost of the water that has been provided. However, it is nowhere near the pressure that it should be. And so if they're going to up the price on the water, they got to make sure that if you live in a two-story home, you should be able to take a shower upstairs.
Darville suggests that the government subsidize GBUC to ensure that cost remains affordable for those unable to pay more for utilities.
The company doesn't just provide water for the Freeport bonded area, and therefore my recommendation would be that they work hand in hand with the government of the Bahamas, the Water Corporation, to make sure that they can support the Grand Bahama Utility Company to the extent that they do not have to up the price for water because water is a necessity. We are supposed to have water free of charge.
In other news, the new police chief for the Northern Bahamas visiting our ZNS studios today to discuss policing strategies and pressing concerns after meeting with senior officers from the various government agencies, the business community, and educational officials on this northern island. Here's that report. Some 19 years ago, B.K. Bonamy left Grand Bahama at the rank of an inspector. Now he returns as the new Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Bahamas. Bonamy says he admires Grand Bahamians and has always been satisfied with the level of crime-fighting efforts on the island.
Crime was never out of control here. It was never. The Grand Bahamians are persons who are law-abiding citizens, I must say that. You may have a small percentage of young men who seems to want to wreak havoc.
Wasting no time, the officer in charge recently met with those in the business community to hear their concerns.
One of the things they expressed was more visibility of the police, and I assured them that that will happen.
ACP Bonamy says he is looking forward to collaborating with other law enforcement agencies, stakeholders, and residents to address the challenges facing the Northern Bahamas.
I know that some of the issues coming out of Abaco and Bimini, we have the firearms, we have the little gangs, we have the human smuggling, we have the human trafficking. So we're going to work together as a team in this aspect.
There are also a number of issues arising among school children that he plans to address.
We have the young boys who are being expelled from schools. We have them going back to schools now with a little gang trying to pick fight. We have the grown men and who are taking advantage of these young ladies, 11, 12. You can't be 28 and be in a relationship with an 11-year-old girl.
But if they are going to police effectively, Bonamy says communication is key, and he employs residents in the Northern Bahamas to familiarize themselves with officers in command.
I told the community there are eyes and ears. We cannot police alone. We need the members of the public.
Well, a new group of civil servants from throughout the public service are offering themselves to be the next executive team of the Bahamas Public Service Union. Members of the newly launched Power Team claiming that the union has been going in the wrong direction and their goal is to rebuild it to its former glory. Raven Davis has that report.
The 10-member Power Team, under the dynamic leadership of presidential candidate Alexander Burrows Jr., claiming that within the last 6 years, the Bahamas Public Service Union has been heading in the wrong direction. He says proper representation is the principal issue, and the goal is to take the organization back to the fundamentals it was founded on.
Our union's medical plan, our union's finances has been going in the doldrums for a very, very long time. Persons are concerned about long outstanding promotions. Our union's medical insurance, persons are not receiving any proper health care.
And as for union dues, Burrows says it seems the only ones benefiting are the executives that collect it. The Power Team essentially has a 10-point agenda, and one key focus is to implement a competitive, contributory, supplementary pension plan.
We're going to partner with the government and find ourselves in a position where we can pay into our own pension schemes. The second thing that we want to do is, for the very first time, establish a first ever BPSU Managers Association.
Asserting that the Northern District needs leadership that is unsparing, Northern Region Vice President candidate Sarah Bethel Cooper reveals that they've decided the Vice President should work full-time at the head office.
This Power Team believes that by having a dedicated VP for the Northern Region, we can provide better service and attention to the members in this area. This move demonstrates that we are committed to inclusivity.
Now, ahead of the September 2023 elections, the team members say they are confident in their collective abilities to evoke the change the union so desperately needs.
We are here to repair the union's assets. We are here to repair and restructure our finances.
We are more than just increment. The Power Team, what we want to do is show you a vision. We want to show you something better. You deserve better.
Today we are starting our tour of different ministries to actually show the visions and to inspire members to be ready.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Heading now into news from the courts. 36-year-old Thomas Jane Baptiste had his day in court. He pleaded not guilty to possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition in the Freeport Magistrate Court this week. Bail was denied and he was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The matter was adjourned to August 3rd, 2023. And coming up in the news, a new pharmacy now opened with a new mission. That story and more up next in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison. Pizza Hut Freeport has the perfect deal for you. Order a large one-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $24.70 with that. Choose your favorite topping and enjoy our fan-favorite cheesy breadsticks with an ice-cold 2-liter drink. Available at Pizza Hut for delivery, carry-out, and curbside. Order today. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport.
The Freeport Garden Club presents Everything Bahamian, Saturday, April 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Hawksbill Yacht Club. Plan to attend. Admission is $5.
Welcome to the My Professor and More, where our focus is to provide the innovation and provide the guidelines for our talented students in a variety of subject matters, from primary school all the way to university level.
Because of the Math Professor, my mathematical and public speaking skills have truly elevated.
At the Math Professor and More, we see our students as being family members. Even though we strive in mathematics and public speaking, we cover all of those areas whereby students may be finding challenges. At the Math Professor, we strive for excellence. We strive for innovation. And through the techniques that we use, we continue to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of students each year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We welcome you to be a part of the family.
It's the afternoon beat. Afternoon beat. 8:10 a.m. Afternoon beat with Zion. Join me Monday to Friday from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. on 8:10 a.m. It's the Afternoon Beat with Zion.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A brand new pharmacy hosting its grand opening recently, and it's more than just a pharmacy, according to proprietor of Island Care Pharmacy, Shantia McBride. The healthcare outlet has a series of unique offerings catering to the full wellness of the community.
At this facility, we have pharmacy services such as dispensing, refilling medications. We provide the National Drug Plan. But also in terms of patient care, we also have a treatment room that is in affiliation with other healthcare providers such as a podiatrist. We also have nurses on hand, diabetic educators that can also come, and these patients can now set up an appointment and come in and get full counseling for other ailments and other affiliated healthcare related aspects that they may need help with.
One of the goals is to provide better care for diabetics on the island, while the Bahamas Pharmaceutical president says the facility is fully equipped to help in that regard. It's all about making life easier on the lives of Grand Bahamians.
With the diabetic care, you come in and get your services for foot care, get your foot examined, make sure everything is okay there by a podiatrist. That's where our pharmacy caters to. So you come in and you get the full catering. So we may be the first home you come to, and then you branch off to each department. It's a broadening of pharmacy one by one, expanding our services beyond just filling a medication.
Well, giving back has been the theme of Jubilee Cathedral Church over the years. As of late, the church has distributed food, clothes, and even shoes to residents throughout Grand Bahama from east to west. While the church is now back at it, giving back this past Friday to responders. Here's Jay Philippe with that report.
Jubilee Cathedral Church on Cathedral Boulevard once again giving back to Grand Bahamians.
What we've been doing over the past couple of months was just being a blessing to our community. But then we realized as well that even now after the pandemic and after all of the storms, and we know that a lot of our donors have already left the island, we say now, how could we still be a blessing to those who are still here? So I believe because of that now, we saw the need to make sure that our first responders, some of them who are on the front line, so even in our old folks' homes, at the hospitals, also at the hotel, also at our children's home, we want to make sure that we could be a blessing to them.
Receiving some items on behalf of the Grand Bahama Children's Home was Executive Director June Hutchison. Also on hand was staff of Grand Lucayan Hotel, where Latoya Stewart received uniforms for the various departments on the hotel property.
People forget about the staff, and so we were able to get some scrubs, which really will help the staff to be able to come to work and feel appreciated, that they matter also. The children have gotten over time, some shoes from this particular organization, and again, gone a long way. That's money that we don't have to spend out of pocket to be able to provide.
We're grateful for it because this is actually to replenish our staff. This is going directly to the staff. So on behalf of our staff, we want to say thank you guys for making this opportunity possible for us to have something.
The Grand Bahama Health Services, along with Bertha's Home for the Aged, also recipients on this day. Here's Aldecia Campbell and Alberta Hudson.
We are most grateful to Jubilee Cathedral. They've always been one of our supporters, and we are always grateful for anything that they can give to us. And these items will go a far way in helping the staff to execute their daily duties and serving the public and the community at large.
We feel honored to be receiving the items, and they are very much needed, very much appreciated, and they will be used to the honor and glory of God.
Executive Pastor of Jubilee Cathedral, Laquez Williams, says the church will continue to assist residents on Grand Bahama as an extension of God's hands. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, it's expected to be an evening of soothing jazz tunes as the Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated will host Jazz Under the Stars. The showcase takes place April 22nd at 7:13 p.m. and will feature local and international jazz artists. Arts and Letters Chairman Vernita Harris says the event is free to the public and looks to heighten the nighttime entertainment in the Port Lakaya Market Square.
We're looking for a great show, free to the public, open to the public. We have Ricardo, Major, Shelley, Carrie, Moxie, with Kevin Tomlinson, and we also have Ron Dames. That's the local talent that's coming out. But we also have internationally coming from Houston, Texas, is the Twin Connection. So we're really looking forward to a very mixed jazz evening and just talent coming from all over.
Entertainment and Marketing Manager for the Port Lakaya Marketplace, Siska Jones, says they were excited about the opportunity to host the upcoming jazz event. While she praised the Deltas for their years of service, she says the event should serve as a night of entertainment and togetherness.
This is an awesome organization that has been around for so many years, and you know, in spite of what has been going on in the world today, you know, we still need some togetherness. We need everybody to come together and have a good time. We have seats for everybody, and where we don't have any seats, then, you know, of course, persons will have to stand, but we promise and we know that this event is going to be a spectacular one.
Your Friday evening check on sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. We have quite a few updates for you in flag football and also track and field. But a number of teams in New Providence this weekend for the Bahamas Basketball Federation Nationals, teams from Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini. Let's check it out. The Bahamas Basketball Federation Nationals got underway at the Sir Kendall Geologics Gym in New Providence yesterday. In A-League play, Grand Bahamas Albacore Fugees got the W against Bimini Marlins 93-80. Trevor Bain was a high point man with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Still in A-League play, Team Showtime from Abaco with a big upset over Commonwealth Giants 75-66. Brandon Meadows and Godfrey Roll Jr. both had 18 points in the win. Now in B-League action, the Yes Giants defeated Abaco's Net Rippers 84-62. Games will continue through the weekend. Sticking with hoops, scores from the Eagles Basketball Classic over in Bimini. CV Bethel edged out BMES 39-34. Gateway got the W against BMES again 44-36. CW Saunders won against Louise McDonald 50-31. And CC Sweden defeated Louise McDonald 44-33. Switching gears now, the Griffith swim and track team continues to be celebrated for their performances this past weekend in Curacao and New Providence.
For me, even just watching the games, it wasn't about medaling. It was about, you see the dedication and the commitment on these young Bahamian face and the pride to represent their country. I mean, I've watched sports all along, but somehow this 50th anniversary here in the Bahamas, as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, was indeed special.
When a group of administrators can take such a small, powerful group from Grand Bahama and perform the way they did, we ought to congratulate them. You know, my good friend asked me, he said, how you feel this morning? I said to him, as I was waiting for the kids to come off the flight, I feel like a groom waiting for his bride, because the way they performed was just fantastic.
And finally in sports, flag football continues this Sunday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. With 5 games on schedule, the Titans will play Skies and Midrock Boys. The Tritons will take on Pink Sands Tigers at 3:50, and the Coca-Cola Knights will play against the Stackers at 4:30. Fidelity Bank Flames will challenge the Lady Elites, and the feature game will be between Three Links Boys and Buckeye Oilers. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Have a great weekend. Be blessed.
It's coming to West Grand Bahama. It's the Road to 50 celebration. Saturday, May 27th. Sunset Village, 8 Mile Rock Fish Fry. One family. Sunset Village, 8 Mile Rock Fish Fry. It's coming to West Grand Bahama. Don't miss the Road to 50 celebration. Saturday, May 27th. The West Grand Bahama edition.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
It's the Road to 50. Get ready as the Swingers, Junkanoo Group, and the Bahamian Brewery present a truly Bahamian team Beer Fest. This party is the best of both worlds. With music by DJ Future, DJ Sweetmouth, and Just Right Sound. Special guest performance by KB. And top tier band. There'll be a Junkanoo Rush Out by the Swingers Junkanoo Group. And is hosted by Sasha on 102.7 The Rhythm. Saturday, April 15th at the Bahamian Brewery Ground. Gates open at 7 p.m. Tickets are $15 before 9 p.m. $20 after. Powered by BTC.
Almost everyone will become a pedestrian at some point in time in their lives. Whether we're driving or walking, we all have a shared responsibility in knowing and following the rules of the road. Pedestrians should do their part by following traffic signals, using crosswalks or intersection, or by walking facing oncoming traffic if they must be on the road. And just like drivers should not be distracted, the same rule applies for pedestrians. Let us all do our part in making pedestrian safety a priority. After all, it's about creating safer communities. I am WPC 3428 Bean of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Traffic Division, Grand Bahama.
Athletes across the northern Bahamas inspire us with their performances on and off the field. ZNS is proud to honor these competitors with our Athlete of the Month award. We will select an athlete whose story and accomplishments represents the best in their sporting discipline. Tune in to find out who will be the Athlete of the Month. Will an athlete be you?
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Raquel and Blair Stewart, our Facebook friends today, we wish you both a very happy birthday, and we also hope that you both enjoy. We also want to say a happy 6th anniversary going out to our colleague here in the North, Roger Russell, and that's coming in from your lovely wife. She wants you to know that she loves you and can't wait to spend the rest of her life with you. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to enjoy your weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
I've been sailing from around 87. I think that's when I built my first boat. I've tried.
At 81, you're still going, Mr. Lord?
Yeah, well, a little. Step getting shorter, but I'm still getting around, but I think I'm getting down to it now. I realize that you don't live the life twice. So I'm making room now for a younger crew coming behind me. Hopefully this regatta might be the last one. I mean, I'm giving it up anyway for movement. Even if I'm alive, I think I don't run my race. Building boat, you gotta love it. You know, and in order to do it, so it got to be something you love. I can sit go in there all day and just play around those wood, and that's something I love to do. You know, I enjoy doing it. When I started to sail, well, they used to have small races, maybe race in Cathedral, which was a bigger settlement, and the rest of the Exuma chain, it wasn't much of sailing on. There was very few places they used to carry on the sailing. Now, right now, just about every community, every, like that, have every settlement who can in the area, the waterline area, they're having race all over Exuma now. Blackman, Farmers Key, coming by, there we go to Rollville. Now they just started a new race in Steventon, and so forth. I've tried, had 4 wins in Georgetown, but now, first overall. This boat can have about 5 first overall, but most every regatta I place around third, second, like that. One of the boat can come through for me. If it's not first, it'll be second or third, like that. After the Bahamas become independent, I think we had a little more freedom of doing things more freely. Because before, when the what we call the Cathedral, them had it to do it. He wasn't as free, but after Cylinder, clear away and make it much easier for all of us. I think I was in Bahamas when they do it, when they used to fly for the first time. Yeah, I was in Bahamas.
In the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, family members slayed. The country's environmental protocols defended and
Andros infrastructural upgrades, and in sports, BBF round robin tips off. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNest News is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, switch to BTC today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. A family shocked into pain and anguish after the lifeless bodies of two females were bagged, hoisted onto gurneys, and transferred into a waiting hearse as police officials turned their attention to who's behind the crime and why. On the scene for us was our Fern Carey.
Residents in the close-knit community of Ross Corner off East Street are in mourning tonight after the partly decomposing bodies of two females believed to be close relatives were discovered in an upstairs apartment at a pet supply store shortly after 10 o'clock Friday morning. Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings says a concerned citizen called police after smelling a foul odor coming from the area where the two females lived.
Police responded, and on arrival to the residence, they had to breach the door to get inside as the door was locked. And upon entering the apartment, discovered two females, partially decomposed, with what appears to be lacerations to the upper body. At present, we cannot say definitively what occurred here, but we are investigating. And I can say at this time that we do have a person of interest in custody, and we will commence an in-depth investigation into this latest incident.
Skippings did not confirm the identity of the two victims pending notification of next of kin. However, she said one of the victims was a teenage girl. Officer in charge of the Kwaku Street Police Station, Chief Superintendent Antonio Monroe, is urging members of the public not to ignore warning signs that could lead to loss of life.
We speak on many occasions about conflict resolution, but I want us as a people, we have to be cognizant of the people who we are associated with. We have to know who they are. And I know sometimes we as Bahamian people, we want to give people second chances. We have to know who they are. At some point, you may hear a voice saying to you, this is going the wrong direction. You have to listen to it. I'm sure this is why you also need family support. Listen to family members. Somebody who can hear and say to you and give a good advice as to what you should be doing.
Her Majesty's coroner was also on the scene assisting police with investigations into this double homicide.
We're going to be speaking to neighbors in this immediate area to see if they may have heard anything. Definitely we're going to look at technology and see if technology can definitely assist us in our investigations. But as mentioned earlier, we do have a person of interest in custody, and so we're going to be speaking with him, and based on the intelligence that we gather from him, it will determine where our investigation goes and whether or not we will be able to put that person before the courts.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, meantime, police have not only arrested, but today escorted the two men allegedly behind the death of Leroy Bethel early Monday morning. Bethel's bullet-riddled body was found in a vehicle, dismissing initial reports of the incident being a traffic accident. The alleged gunmen, 35-year-old Emil Hebern and 41-year-old Jermico Knowles, both of Hatchet Bay, Luthra, were not required to enter a plea to that charge, neither possession of a firearm with intent to endanger the life of Ashton Petty during an armed robbery on that island. The pair reportedly left with Petty's gold chain and silver and gold coin. Hebern and Knowles were subsequently remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until June 30th. Zendel Stubbs handed down a similar fate following his arraignment in a magistrate's court on Thursday. The 36-year-old Monkey Lane resident was formally charged with unlawful sexual intercourse and indecent assault of a 12-year-old girl. The incident allegedly taking place last Thursday, April 6th. Police said the child was playing with other children at the Eastern Estates Park when the suspect showed up. The youngster later described her assailant to the police, and the man fitting that description was arrested. Stubbs was not required to enter a plea. He was instead remanded until June 15th, when a voluntary bill of indictment will be served. In related news this evening, the nation's top cop says he's been in discussions with Chief Justice Ian Winder with hopes of addressing the bail system. Based on last year's numbers, some 35 suspects killed someone while out on bail. Another 34 alleged offenders were murdered while on release.
We are recovering a lot of weapons off the streets, and we just asking the members of the public to work with their police officers. Right? They know the information is there, out there. People know what is going on in the community. You need to work with the police officer. We're trying to continue to build that trust so that we could work together as a team to make it happen. But we feel good where we are at this time, and we could only take it to another level to ensure that the Bahamian people are safe. And we will continue to be out there, that presence in the community. And we know the challenge with persons who continue to get bail, the same revolving door that continue to be a challenge and is being addressed.
With the country seeing a disturbing increase in domestic abuse cases, the nation's top cop says his organization is addressing this issue head on. He says authorities are making steady progress with the establishment of its domestic violence unit, and as announced several months ago.
The domestic violence unit is well on the way. Last week we met with various stakeholders from the Crisis Center, social service, and all of the other civic groups, and we had a wonderful meeting at police headquarters. The building that we identified for the unit, and also 1 or 2 safe houses. After the completion of the meeting, we visited the office, which is under renovation, minor renovation. I don't wish to say at this time, because there's some safe houses there as well, but eventually the nation will know where the main office is, so that they will know where to come to make their complaint. But we are well on the way with it, and the stakeholders are very excited about it, and as you indicated, it's dear to my heart, and we will ensure that we look out for the women of this great country.
Meantime, Chief Superintendents Chrislyn Skippings and Rochelle Delaveau leading a team of officers through downtown Nassau this morning to forewarn motorists about minor traffic infractions and the consequences of breaking the law. The officers making it clear that violators will pay the price.
We've been downtown. We've seen persons parking in taxi cab stands that we've ticketed them for. We've seen persons in loading zones. And so today is a message to the Bahamian people that we are going to enforce the minor offenses. Yesterday we spoke about the loud noise that trucks make, public nuisance. We also spoke about persons who are altering the muffler to have these loud sounds. It is not offense, it's public nuisance. And where persons complain, we're going to take quick and decisive action. We also spoke about persons changing the lights, the headlamps on their vehicles, the flickering lights on their vehicles. You are going to see an aggressive approach from the Royal Bahamas Police Force as we tackle crime and as we enforce the traffic laws governing the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Skippings also addressed the junction boxes at major intersections, warning the drivers found in them obstructing traffic will be ticketed. Another area of concern, vagrants who sometimes approach tourists.
Really a good look for the Bahamas, so we try and encourage them to do what they have to do and get off of Bay Street as quickly as possible. Of course, we don't want to infringe on their rights and privileges, so if they are not committing offenses, we just, encourage them to take a walk. But if they are, we take them into custody and we deal with them accordingly and then put them before the courts.
And while on the issue of crime, we can tell you the Prime Minister will soon head to Trinidad and Tobago, where he'll attend a 2-day regional conference on crime and violence as a public health issue. The event aims to address the impact of crime and violence on the well-being and development of the Caribbean region and to promote effective strategies for prevention and intervention. It is expected that the outcomes of the symposium will inform policy making and facilitate regional cooperation. In his absence, Education Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, will serve as acting Prime Minister. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Original or hot and spicy?
I'm cooked the hard way, no corners cut to live life the fried way. 11 herbs and spices, that's all I can say.
If you wanna take a bite, I'm just a little tanky, but a whole lot of feisty. Yeah, I'm the chick with the kick, they call me hot and spicy.
There's no winning flavor. They're all finger-licking good.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your story today.
The Bahamas and Canada strengthen ties with the opening of a consulate general in Toronto set for Saturday. The office will be headed by Consul General Public Relations Specialist Al Dillette. Coverage will extend to the Canadian province of Ontario, Quebec City, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Halifax, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, and Labrador. Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis left the capital today to officially open the new consulate office. Foreign Affairs Minister the Honourable Fred Mitchell will also attend. Later that evening, the two will be among the invited guests to a special diaspora event for Bahamian nationals residing in Canada. All the wheels are in motion for new infrastructure in the central portion of the Big Yard. Two aging bridges are set to be replaced. Residents had a chance to view new designs at a town meeting on Thursday. Jimmy Swain was there.
But I'm so happy that we're getting this bridge because it's needed.
I'm very afraid for the bridge. If the mailboat slips one of these times, it will hit that bridge down. I watch it often.
Yes, we want the bridge, but we will make the right decision and where we're going to put the bridge. Because putting the bridge right back there, it stops the growth of First Street completely.
A diverse range of views from Androsians after viewing plans for the proposed Fresh Creek and Stafford Creek Bridge. A delegation from the Ministry of Works led by the Honourable Alfred Sears and other senior government officials on the ground Thursday for a town hall meeting. This one, a follow-up to another back in 2020 to garner feedback on whether residents preferred a new bridge or a refurbished one with an additional lane.
The community support both projects, the Fresh Creek Bridge and the Stafford Creek Bridge. The response also demonstrated the importance of listening and incorporating the stakeholders in the design, because suggestions were made of how to ensure that this is the absolute best option, not just for today, but in terms of the future.
Minister Sayers also called for an investigation into the Fresh Creek Bridge to ensure its structural soundness. Managing Principal of Braun Limited, Kevin Sweeting, with a breakdown of the designs.
So for Fresh Creek, we're proposing a reinforced concrete bridge.
It will have a 30 feet plus clearance from high water to the bottom of the bridge. It will have 2 lanes for Stafford Creek. We're also proposing a reinforced concrete bridge that would again have 2 lanes for 2 lanes of traffic. The existing bridge only allows for 1 lane of traffic, and it would also allow now for 2 pedestrian sidewalks on either side of the bridge.
Now, both bridges are likely to cost in the millions, and officials indicate that it will take about 24 months for both bridges to be completed. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jimenita Swain.
Well, in other news this evening, continued opposition from some quarters to the government's conditional approval of Royal Caribbean's Paradise Island Beach Club plans has the tourism minister a bit skeptical of some people's motivation. Cleopatra Murphy has more.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, insists the Bahamas has some of the strictest environmental protocols in the world, the same that were applied to developments like the Atlantis Resort. His comments come after a group of environmentalists, among them Eric Carey and Joseph Darville, sent out a joint letter calling for a thorough, transparent review of the environmental, economic and cultural impacts of Royal Caribbean's proposed beach project on Paradise Island. After facing opposition to the project from several avenues, with the president and managing director of Atlantis, Audrey Oswell, also raising concerns about its environmental impact, Cooper questioned if concerns raised could be more than meets the eye.
What all of the persons quoted would know, that as a part of this environmental assessment is public consultation. So they are free to give their feedback, their suggestions, their opposition to the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection. So I am thinking there may be something more than just environmental concerns. Of course, they would have to say that.
Still, Cooper says he applauds everyone's concern for the environment that proves they and government are on the same page.
We are about responsible development. We're about creating experiences for our guests. We're about Bahamian empowerment. We're going to be launching the Tourism Development Corporation bill very shortly in Parliament. The thrust of this bill is to encourage more of these types of opportunities and experiences, hopefully driven by Bahamians.
Cooper announced on March 7th that government had approved Royal Caribbean's $100 million Paradise Island Beach Club subject to environmental approvals. Along with concerns by environmentalists, the Minister of Tourism says he was particularly concerned by some of the comments from Atlantis that has also hired Eric Carey as a consultant on the environmental impact of Royal Caribbean's project.
Really, there has to be some more direct conversations with them. I fully expect those conversations to happen in the near term. But in the meantime, we leave it to the professional environmental experts at DEP to do their work.
Cooper says he has confidence in local professionals and the regulatory authorities. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, our Cleopatra Murphy is in Texas, where the focus of Day 2 of tourism's trade mission is expanding the local economy and growing the main industry. We hear more in this report.
Austin, Texas is one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S., attracting tech giants like Tesla, while Texas, ranked as the 9th largest economy in the world, is a thriving technology market. With that in mind, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is keen on forging stronger ties, meeting with Texas Secretary of State Jay Nelson while at the Texas Capitol in Austin Thursday.
We wanted really to go and see the Secretary of State as a courtesy, and as a result of doing so, we are able to make many new introductions to policymakers, persons in the tourism space, as well as in the tech industry.
The minister and the Ministry of Tourism's delegation also met with Tom Noonan, president and CEO of Visit Austin, Texas's Ministry of Tourism equivalent in Austin. Cooper sees the benefit of establishing a relationship.
we are able to work along with Visit Austin, really to share their databases, partner with them, work along with their partners to promote our meetings, incentive, conventions, events, business for the Bahamas. We have a direct flight from Austin to Bahamas, Nassau in particular, and we want to ensure that that flight is full both ways.
Cooper is also eager to grow the country's sports tourism market toward the AT&T Center, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, located in Arlington, Texas, Wednesday. He sees sports tourism as a hook.
What's important as well with sports athletes is that they have a direct following themselves. So if we have a star from the Dallas Cowboys come to the beach at Goodman's Bay and do a selfie, post it on Instagram, 40,000 people, 50,000 people see it, and they say, well, you know, if that's what he is doing, I want to check that out myself.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, the harvest is abundant. An agricultural project launched 2 years ago between church and state, reaping dividends as the push continues on numerous ends for food security. Carla Palmer has the details.
The government's request for the church to assist in reducing the country's heavy food import bill has led to the establishment of the Church Commercial Farming Group, CCFG. And over the course of 7 months, thousands of greenhouses in the backyards of churches and homes have yielded an abundance of crops.
The objective is that we have agreed to raise up 5,000 backyard farmers and 12 community farms, or 12 grow houses and several greenhouses.
So how's that been going? Were you able to achieve that mark?
Well, so far we have 2,200 backyard farmers between New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. And it is very, very exciting that we are moving in this direction.
Reverend Patrick Paul serves as executive chairman of CCFG. He's hoping the initiative fosters community spirit and serve as a deterrent to crime.
We want to empower our Bahamians community so that we can help bring the community together to bring some of this crime and the rest of all of the ills that we face. We believe that backyard farming, community farming, bringing that whole concept of community back together again, we believe it can help and aid with respect to minimizing the crime among us as well. What we really, really want is when we set up the community farms, we're going to kind of survey the community. We're going to get anywhere from 25 to maybe 50 families within that community to work along with us as the Church Commercial Farming Group, where they're going to own the farm. We're going to provide all of the infrastructure. We're going to provide all the seeds and that kind of stuff. But we want them to partner with us as we partner with them and as we partner with other NGOs. With respect to that, we believe that we'll be able to assist the community to see that we can do things together. And in that, we believe that that's going to help. But that ain't all. Then we're going to help families with respect to special seminars within that community itself, where we're going to talk about healthy family and talk about how you can manage your household, how you can manage your funds, what to do about this, what to do about that. We have specialists about us, and we're going to help to refocus, re-socialize our community.
Equally important is the savings resulting from backyard farming.
You're going to be able to eat what you grow and grow what you eat. And in the midst of that, there is a possibility of some of the major companies has already spoken to one of our NGOs and said, if you can grow X amount, we will consider purchasing from you. So we can get 100 families to grow all of this, another 100 families to grow that, another 300 families to grow this. More than likely, it'll become a business, and together we all can do better in our community.
With all the native crops sprouting, pepper fingers, arugula, beets, thyme, tomatoes, and more, CCFG is already making a difference and well on its way in its attempt to achieve its overall objective of reducing the country's $1 billion and growing food import bill. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, now time for the answer to the weekly poll question. And as a reminder, this week we asked, do you agree with the legalization of medical marijuana in the Bahamas. All the weekly poll answers are in and on the ZNS website. 63% of you agree, 37% disagree. YouTube, 73% agree, 27% disagreed. Twitter, 84% of you agreed and 16% disagreed. Well, as always, thanks for participating. The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
The news is brought to you by the 50th Independent Secretariat Golden Jubilee Song Competition, open to all Bahamian creatives. Entries must be submitted by Friday, May 5th, 2023. For details, go to www.celebrate-bahamas.com.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
I am a mother of 3 daughters. I have no boys, so everything that my dad taught me, I am now teaching my daughters. My daughter Samala actually helps me out in the business on the weekends. She actually is the one that makes the conch fritter batter, and she gets a lot of rave reviews. Her conch fritter batter is actually better than mine, I would say, and I learned from my dad, passed it on to her. She does a good job. She knows how to break out conch, she knows how to skin conch, she knows how to make salad. So my dad, Samuel, he's the fisherman. He sources the conch. He goes out like twice a week to provide the business with conch. We get the conch out of the water fresh every day. And then we come back, we start off by breaking out the conch, cleaning the conch up. We don't break out everything at the same time. We usually break out a small amount because we want our conch to be fresh, because that's our customers like the freshness of our conch salad. Sometimes people are amazed, they're surprised. Sometimes people are even timid. Do I want a woman making my salad? But once they get the salad, it's like, okay, yes, I'm coming back. Being able to provide that experience to tourists who are eating conch salad for the first time is also an awesome experience. Because I think about when I travel and when I try something for the first time, sometimes you're afraid because you're pulling out something that is live. So people are like, oh my goodness, is it still moving? Sometimes we'll cut a small piece of the conch and let them taste it. Like, okay, yes, I want a taste of that. It makes me feel good to know that our product is always in high demand. Sometimes we run out and we're not able to meet the demands, but that's something that we definitely want to work on in terms of going out more often. But we also think about the sustainability of the conch, making sure that the conch isn't small, making sure that the lip is fully formed, because we want this business to last. For my daughter, for my grandchildren, we really, really want it to last.
Spring is here and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimal fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away. Fidelity.
Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Sometimes life hints at your next step, sending you signs all around, even in unexpected places, to lead you in the right direction. The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage and switch to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch your mortgage to Scotiabank. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. Paying less gives you more when you switch to Scotiabank.
In just a matter of weeks, a group of Bahamian entrepreneurs will head to London to showcase their authentically Bahamian products in one of the world's leading luxury department stores, Harrods. Deputy Chairman of the Bahamas Trade Commission, Senator Barry Griffin, says it's part of efforts to re-establish linkages between the Bahamas and the United Kingdom. He said it also coincides with celebrations marking the coronation of England's King Charles in May.
Any retailer, any provider of goods would beat down the door of Harrods for an opportunity to even be showcased. So it's amazing that the Bahamas has gotten this opportunity. I just wanted to thank the British High Commission in the Bahamas for partnering with us and securing those connections to ensure that we can have this, especially at such a prominent and memorable time as the coronation that will be happening in May. So we're very excited about it. So it's a huge deal for the Bahamas to be showcased and displayed in this manner, especially during our 50th year anniversary of independence. And it's exceptional that we're able to have Bahamian producers of goods to be showcased at such a high level in one of the most trafficked cities in the world.
As for the criteria for selection, Griffin says they're looking for Bahamian companies that provide luxury Bahamian goods that are available for export. He said the deadline for consideration is April 21st, and interested persons can email trade@bahamas.gov.bs. The group of entrepreneurs will travel to London next month. Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center, Samantha Rowe, says the initiative also ties into the SBDC's mission to showcase Bahamian entrepreneurs to the world.
We have some amazing entrepreneurs who produce products that are authentically Bahamian-made products. And through the relationship with the British High Commission, Tom Hartley, and along with the Trade Commission, we've been able to make that happen. And so what's being formulated is essentially a pop-up shop at Harrods. High-end store, high-end products from the Bahamas. And that's just fantastic.
In this next report, it took a local entrepreneur buying a car company to make a point and advance a cause with serious environmental implications. Carla Palmer explains.
A growing number of Bahamians seem to be buying into the whole idea of saving the planet. This all reflected in the increasing number of electric car sales annually.
This year, compared to last year this time, we have sold 50% more vehicles than last year. And last year, we sold 50% more than the year before. So it's going extremely well. We are very busy. Bahamians realize that they need to move to a new technology. The combustion engine, the old gas cars, that's over 100-year-old technology. So now we have much simpler vehicles, much less expensive to own and to run. So people are transitioning.
Pia Farmer there, the new owner and managing director of the country's only electric car company, Easy Car Sales. In fact, Farmer says she's already sold some 500 cars since acquiring the company in 2019.
We're trying to offer as many models to the Bahamian public as possible to enable them to switch from gas to electric. It is true that initially electric cars were more expensive than gas cars because the battery is an expensive thing to produce. On the other hand, there are another 1,000 parts in a regular car that are not in an electric car, that you don't have to manufacture, that you don't have to service, you don't have to replace them, they don't end up in the dump. So in reality, today, electric vehicles are competitive and comparable to new gas cars. And
Farmer says the increased sales is an indication more and more residents are understanding the environmental implications of clean energy in the changeover from gas to electric cars.
Emissions, harmful emissions from vehicles are the #1 source of CO2 emissions, vehicles. And those CO2 emissions, the carbon dioxide that is produced by burning fuel in a car, is causing our climate to change, to become hotter, like a greenhouse. You hear the greenhouse effect. The hotter the planet gets, the harder it will be for us humans to live in it, because the temperatures getting hotter are affecting our seas, they're affecting our weather, they're affecting the hurricanes, they're affecting flooding, they're affecting rainfall, they're affecting all of our climate. That's not under dispute anymore. So every time we we change from a gas car to an electric car, we are reducing the amount of CO2 emissions that we are putting out.
Easy Car Sales now has its own brand of all new electric vehicles, the BYD and the Jack. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
And speaking of the environment, yesterday we told you about the stony coral tissue loss disease that has now made its way to Andros. Today we zoom in on the detrimental impact it's having on the marine life and, if left unchecked, the end result.
Stony coral tissue loss disease is so deadly because it affects a large amount of species of coral. The problem with allowing stony coral tissue loss disease to go untreated is that, unlike other coral diseases, stony coral tissue loss disease usually ends in complete death of a coral. Without treatment, stony coral tissue loss disease can completely wipe out a reef in a matter of months.
And just to add to that, like, the Bahamas depends so much on coral reefs for everything, like tourism, fishing, just the protection of coast from hurricanes and storms. If we don't stop stony coral tissue loss disease, what will happen, and this is not going to happen tomorrow, this is not going to happen next year, but in the next 5, 10, 15 years, if we lose all the coral reefs, we're going to lose all the benefits that we depend on, especially the Bahamians. So if you think that we are losing corals and coral reefs in the long term, you will lose almost all the things that your economy depend on. So it's very important for everyone to be involved, trying to either learn about this disease and as well like try to stop the spread.
Well, in other news, the past week creating a nightmare for many fitness-focused locals, especially those challenged with making it out to the gym due to extreme weather. But as conditions improved, there's still the question of remaining focused on those fitness goals as the summer months are quickly approaching. Well, our Lloyd Allen is standing by with a local instructor with some tips, which may just well help to keep you on track toward those summer goals or year-round fitness hack. Lloyd?
Well, Makushla, I don't know about you, but it's been a little difficult trying to stay in shape with the weather and all these other challenges recently. But hopefully we have someone here who can help. We're here at J-Line Fitness, and we're speaking with Webster Johnson. He's a trainer and nutritionist. Webster, talk a little bit about those persons who may not be able to get out to the gym, but do want to stay in shape.
Okay. Well, it all starts with moving in the morning. So as soon as you get up in the morning, you want to hydrate yourself, get some water inside your body. It gets all the systems and everything flowing. And then you want to move in and get some jumping jacks in, maybe some push-ups, maybe some high knees and some squats. You can put that together in a little routine, maybe 3 sets of 12 for each movement, and that should get you going for the day. That's something that will put movement in your life, and it'll keep you even balanced throughout the day.
And then additionally, of course, those persons getting out to the gym but not a lot of time, what do you recommend for them?
Once you come inside the gym, it only takes about maybe 30 to 40 minutes to get a good workout in. You want to come in, you want to get some steady state cardio that's on the elliptical, the treadmill, or the stationary bike, and you want to get some strength training in. You want to get some dumbbell movements, maybe some shoulder press, some dumbbell curls, some tricep extensions, certain things that to get the body moving. You want to get in some squats, maybe some leg extensions if you're doing separate days. So you'll have an upper body and a lower body day, and it takes about maybe 30 to 40 minutes to get all these routines in, 3 sets of 10 of all of them, and you'll be good to go.
Now, of course, last but not least, we live in a place where food is always good, but of course, nutrition is also important if you want to stay in shape. What do you advise?
Well, the saying is you can't out-train a bad diet. So you want to stay away from a lot of fried foods. You want to try and see if you can get below your total daily expenditure of calories for the day. So let's say you got 2,500 calories to maintain your weight. You want to put yourself in a caloric deficit if you want to lose. You want to put yourself in a caloric surplus if you want to gain. So more chicken breasts, high protein foods, salmon, steaks. You want to get some good carbs in there, some good fats in there, and you should be able to balance that diet out to where, okay, I'm eating the right amount of calories, I'm eating the right amount of proteins and carbs, and I can maintain my weight or lose weight as I expect to try to get started.
So hopefully those tips from Webster will help to keep us in shape moving on over to the summer. Reporting here from J-Line Fitness for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla, back to you in studio.
Well, good going there, Lloyd. On a more somber note tonight, members of the Progressive Liberal Party reflecting on the life of stalwart councillor Frederica Butler today. Butler will be laid to rest tomorrow during a service at St. John's Native Baptist Cathedral. The former banker was remembered as a gem who poured into the lives of others. Among those paying tribute to her was MP for Golden Gates and Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honourable Pierre Glover-Rowe.
It's people like Ms. Frederica's shoulders that we stand on in this party as a stalwart. It's people like Ms. Frederica's shoulders we stand on in this party as women, because she was one of the formidable, strong women that we can always envision moving around, doing what is necessary to make our party and our leaders successful. So while we have lost her on this side of heaven, I know that she is definitely in the heavens.
Well, members of the Progressive Liberal Party also joining loved ones of Androsian Albertha Green Harris during a memorial service at the headquarters on Thursday. Green Harris was called a stepping stone of the party as she was instrumental in pushing the PLP towards success. Remembering her countless contributions were Pinewood MP and Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honourable Miles Laroda, and former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie.
In the historic headquarters of the Progressive Liberal Party, saying a final farewell to the earthly presence of someone who gave us much for a long time without seeking any personal reward. God gave us the gift of memories, and that is what we have to rely on when we think of our loved ones.
For people like Albertha Green Harris, for people like my mother, for countless other stalwart councillors, let us treasure them. Let us give them their flowers, like my great-grandmother would say, while they could smell them. Because, Minky, apart from standing on the shoulders, I have never seen a generation give so much, expecting so less. Only wanting a better way of life for their children.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. You love, a friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
As spring hops along, great savings continue at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12-ounce, new low price, $2.39. Ronzoni ready-cut macaroni, 14-ounce, 2 for $3. Luana vegetable oil, 48-ounce, $5.99. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.69 per pound. Donate your change to help feed your Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ferguson with Biggity Candle Company. With SandDollar, we were very pleased to know that we were offered another way for customers to make payments that were digital. We don't like handling cash, the physical cash anymore. It's safer that way. I can tell you that, I won't go back. I'd much rather the transactions being on my phone. It's simple, it's instantaneous, and my customers have actually really loved it too.
Do business better with SandDollar. Learn more at sanddollar.bs.
Come on down at the Red Cross National Fair. Don't you meet me, beat me there. It's a family affair. Oh yes, it's that time again. Go tell your neighbors, tell your friend. As the children play, you can dance the night away. Yes, they got to the law. Games and Jump in your car, catch all the fun, enough for everyone. At the Red Cross National Fair. Don't you beat me there. It's the family affair. San Royale at the Red Cross National Fair. Don't you beat me there.
The small community of Smiths Bay Cat Island will come to life this weekend. The annual Cat Island Down Home Fish Off is underway. And if you're feeling adventurous or just in the mood for island reveling, this may be your ideal spot in paradise. Our Desmond Salt is in the midst of all the action down there in Cat Island. Desmond, what's going on?
Well, Crystal, the pristine, beautiful waters on Cat Island is filled with nature's best, and it's quite evident by the wide assortment of fish caught by fishermen at this tournament this week. Snapper, lionfish, tuna, grouper, margaret. What were some of your favorites?
Triggers, yellowtail, hine.
just a treasure trove, just a treasure trove of species, and I'm joined by the man who made it all possible this week here at Cat Island, Smiths Bay Dock to be exact, and that is Mr. Gilbert, Nathaniel Gilbert. He's the president of the Cat Island Down Home Fish Off Tournament. Good evening, sir. And a lot of people don't understand the history of how this all came together. How did you put this together, and talk about the impact you're making now today?
Good evening, Bahamas, and good evening all, and good evening to you, my brother and sister. It fills my heart. It fills me with a dream come true. The reason for this, and the reason I really put it on, is because I wanted the local fishermen to be excited and happy about it, because it actually was put on for them. And it is so beneficial when you could go out and catch the fish and win a trophy and win some money and make more money from that same catch that you go out to catch per day.
And I want to go right there. I want to talk about the impact of sports fishing on the local economy. How do we grow this industry? It's a lucrative industry. Sports fishing is a worldwide industry, not only in the Bahamas, but how do we grow this in Cat Island?
Oh, it's easy. It's very easy. We have lots of fishermen here, and we have a lot of descendants from here, and we have our government leader is from here, and our country leader is from here. So that's something that we could piggyback on. We could base on that. We could use those areas to...
More resources, you think, too?
Yes, more resources. Bring in more fishermen, bring in more... Sports fishing is I think it's the best sports in the world. That's what I think. So you have people who think football and basketball and all that stuff is the most lucrative sport in the world, but I think fishing is the most.
Right, and this is the 6th annual Cat Island Down Home Festival. We were here since Wednesday, and I tell you, the competition immense. We've got some great competitors, great anglers who were throwing their lines out since Wednesday, and I mean, it's just been a great experience. Just sum up today's event. We had some winners. We had some contenders who were able to sell their items to the local market.
Yes, of course. Actually, they sold all of it. Yesterday's catch, today's catch. Before they leave the dock, before each one of those boats leave the dock and fishermen leave the dock, they sold every piece of their fish that they caught each day.
Wow.
So that just goes to show you they made monies from the catch, and they're going to be making money from the committee, from the fish off committee.
Yes.
Because I mean, that is the reason for the event.
All right. Give us a preview of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be a different type of fishing. Tomorrow they're going to fish for red snappers. They're going to fish in deeper waters. You know, you got to hang over the ocean to do that. and we call it deep dropping. And you could string on 6 to 8 hooks on a line to catch a string of red snappers. That's what we're targeting. That's the target species for tomorrow, red snappers.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to be here until Saturday. That's what's happening down here, and the crowd continues to grow. It's all happening right here. This is the ideal spot, Makushla, and I'm glad, well, I'm not glad. You should be here in Cat Island with me, but I will send the pictures to you. It's been a great experience, Makushla. Back to you in the studio here this evening at the 6th annual Cat Island Down Home Fish-Off Tournament. Gonna bring you guys some snappers when I get back.
Well, truth be told, he's all smiles, but our Desmond Saunders and his camerawoman, Agatha Christie, are working real hard down there in Cat Island. In other news, BPL advising its customers in Acklands and the general public, for that matter, that power supply was fully restored to that island, and that's just before 7 p.m. The company thanks its customers for their patience and once again apologizes for the prolonged interruption in service. The company is also conducting, for that matter, other checks to its unit to prevent other generation-related supply interruptions. Well, it's now time for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We have some light rain showers on the western side of the island. Outside of our studios, not too bad, just some cloudy conditions. Temperature 80 degrees, relative humidity 74%. We have south-southeast winds at 11 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That's 29.98 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family of Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greentown Key at 80 degrees, Marshall, Babaco also 80 degrees, the Berry Islands 84, Alistown, Bimini 82, 81 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera 80 degrees, 81 in Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, all at 79. Georgetown, Exuma, 80 degrees, 80s also in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matchetown, Unago, 82 in the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands through Sunday, those winds are going to be primarily out of the south at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 9:50 tonight. Another low tide will occur at 10:49 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands, also through Sunday, east to southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. For your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one and the car say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. Your car up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
This is the super versatile Ring stick-up cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on.
Seriously?
Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor stick-up cam by Ring.
For insurance for your beloved senior citizen, Star General offers the Silver Medical Plan for which you can apply up to age 85. The network includes the finest hospitals and healthcare centers worldwide. Insurance is provided through an AM Best A-rated insurer with reinsurance support through Lloyd's of London. Other features include no medical tests required, 4 deductibles, and $2 million lifetime benefits. Visit or call Star General Health and Life Insurance today.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to ZNS Total Sports Check on a Friday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's round-robin national championships moving into day 2 of action at the Kendall Lodge Gymnasium. Teams from around the family of islands in town to compete in both Division II and Division I. 4 games played last night, another 4 set for today. BBF President Eugene Horton talking about how they were able to put it all together.
What you see out here is months and months of preparation. I formed an association with all the presidents and got their commitments to attending. And from there, we were working with rosters and so forth and getting their commitments. Most of them are using this as a preview to the Bahama Games to see their talent and help cut for that.
Now, Horton is hoping for fan support as the weekend progresses and talked about what fans can expect.
A competitive competition. All the coaches and islands are excited to be out here, and they just want to compete and see where they are.
Meanwhile, the UB men's soccer team currently in second place in the Bahamas Football Association. In that light, they're looking for pieces to continue that trend into next season. The squad will hold open tryouts at 9 a.m. Saturday morning at the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. Assistant coach Alex Thompson says they're looking for specific positions, but coachability will be key.
They need to be open to taking instruction, open to playing different roles, and having a growth mindset. Football is a game of failure, so they have to be able to quickly adapt and pick things up as soon as they make a mistake. We're mainly looking for left-footed players with a preference to a left center back, a left back, and a left midfielder. We're also in the market for another striker and another defensive midfielder. High-quality players and high-character guys are what's most important.
And the university will also be holding volleyball tryouts as well this weekend, with open tryouts for 11th and 12th graders taking place on Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Anatole Rogers Gym. Assistant head coach Sideline Justilian looking out for some good talent.
So I tried this weekend. We're looking for some talent, good volleyball talent from our high school kids. We are also inviting the 11th graders. So we're looking for like basic skills of bumping, setting, spiking, playing defense, serving from our tryouts. Well, you know, academic is a plus for us. Academic and athletics go hand in hand. And so we're also looking for those who have that academic 2 point and above. And personality, you know, you have to have a good personality in order to play, to be able to gel with your teammates, and also listen to your coaches. You have to be coachable.
And finally, the Day 3 of the annual Cat Island Fish-Off Tournament underway over in Smith's Bay. Desmond Sanders has been keeping his line in the water. He brings us his latest catch.
Competition heating up at this year's Cat Island Down-Home Fishing Tournament. Some 2 boats were out at sea during Day 2 of the tournament. Alexander Seymour and sports fisherman Wade Seymour coming out on top as the leading finishers in this year's tournament. Alexander Seymour earning 71 points. He hauled in a grouper weighing 12 pounds. Wade Seymour earning 36 points, and a mutton snapper was his heaviest weigh-in at 5 pounds. Fishermen earning extra points for catching the lionfish on the high seas. Both competitors excited about the competition.
We didn't need to go too far. Maybe
2.5 miles offshore. We dived along those areas. 4.5, 5 hours or so. I was able to find the redheads and get some fish out of them. So that's the result. We didn't have any challenges. Used to diving off the boat. Doing this for a long time, so it wasn't a reason to have no fear. I'm gonna go home, prep myself, get ready, put my strategy together, and then be ready for tomorrow.
And you're all ready for that big win?
I believe we have that hook, line, and sinker.
The weather wasn't exactly good, but it was okay. Well, I feel great. I'm looking forward for Saturday. They get some lungfish, some snappers, some margaret fish. Well, I had 2 other divers with me, Rodney Wells and Lewis.
Both anglers earning over $5,000 in cash prizes. Both men were gifted with fishing tools by the Fish-Off Committee. Competition continues here at the Smiths Bay Dock. Fishermen will throw their lines in the water once again for more action here at Smiths Bay Dock, Cat Island. With photographer Agatha Christie, Desmond Saunders, ZNS Total Sports.
And that's your check on sports. I'm Marcellus Hall. The weather is just ahead.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Did you know that 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives? That's right. And that's why the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and its partners, the Ministry of Health and the Public Health Authority, have joined forces to save lives through Blood Drive 2023. Friday, April 28th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Broadcasting Corporation Studio A on Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive. Get free glucose screening, blood pressure testing, and an overall indication of your general health. Save the date, Friday, April 28th. It's the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' Blood Drive 2023. Let's save lives together. For more information, visit our website at znsbahamas.com.
Time now for weather.
A final look at weather. That front boundary that dumped the rain for several days across the Bahamas, well, that backed up over central Florida, but we do have this confluence line here, which will trigger 1 or 2 passing showers during the course of the night. Our forecast for the night called for partly to mostly cloudy conditions, a bit on the humid side, with a couple of showers likely, 75 degrees for your low. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly cloudy with a passing shower or 2, particularly during the morning hours, your high temperature getting up to 85 degrees. Extended weather forecast. Off and on showers through Sunday. It becomes more scattered as we head into Monday. Another front system pushes through on Monday, and that will increase the shower activity. Temperature-wise, keeping you in the 80s. Nighttime temperatures once again holding in the low 70s. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.